Hi, it's Beth and Barry's in another room, but I think I'm going to go into that room because nobody's getting my links. And as you know, um, this is a new adventure for us trying to use StreamYard. And this is the first time I've tried to do it without Deb's help because she's taking her kids to the doctor. So I think Diane and I are going to share a screen, and then we'll just be able to do the interview that way. All right, I'm going to go in here. Come with me. We're at the Soul Emporium. And am I saying it right?
Yes.
Goliad, Texas, which is a very historic, very unique town. This is where the hanging tree is that Barry and I were interested in for our paranormal stuff. So I'd like you to meet Diane. Hey, Diane.
Diana.
Oh, sorry, Diana. Harrington.
Hi.
And she is the owner of, as you can see, this is very relaxed relation, of Soul Emporium, which is a really, really cool shop in Goliad, Texas. Really cute area too.
Yeah.
What's the history on the building? Do you know?
It was originally built in 1913 as a grocery store. It has a hand-operated elevator and a 2,000 square foot basement in Texas, which is very
unheard
unusual.
of. Yeah.
Really cool building. 10,000 square feet altogether.
I'm going to ask Barry, if I leave it up here, can you hear us good enough? You can hear Diana good enough?
I can speak up.
Okay. Maybe scoot closer. Here we go. Okay. So I thought when we walked into this beautiful, and you should feel the energy here, place, and I felt like I already knew Diana, although I got her name wrong, that I didn't even learn anything about her because I wanted it to be fresh for the camera. So she's going to take us on a little adventure on, if you only see part of me, it's okay, because this is about her, okay? So don't tell me I'm not in the picture. It's okay if I'm not in the picture as long as you can hear me. On how she came to Goliad, Texas from
Rockport,
Texas. Did you always live in Rockport?
56 years.
Whoa, yeah.
Grew up in Rockport.
A while.
Kindergarten through high school.
But I know she has an interesting story because I heard kind of just little bits and pieces that you were blown in here from a hurricane. So go ahead and tell that story if you wouldn't mind.
Oh gosh, I have to know the year. Was it 2019 with Hurricane Harvey? It's all a blur to me now. Anyway, Hurricane Harvey, we ended up after the hurricane in Goliad waiting for. Are we okay?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'm going to go over here.
We're having all kinds of signs behind us. So waiting for electricity and power and the grocery stores to be reopened in Rockport, we were hanging out in the Goliad area in our little cabin out in the woods with our animals, and kept coming into town. And I told Joe, I saw a house that I liked, and I said, you know, this reminds me of Rockport when I was a kid. Joe and I both grew up in Rockport. And I said, if you buy me that house, I'll move to Goliad. Well, that house wasn't for sale, but sure enough, he started poking around online and found this building on the square in downtown Goliad, directly across from the Goliad County Courthouse. And he said, you know, come look at this. What do you think? He said, we'll live upstairs and you'll have a store. And I said, a store? Cool. And the rest is history.
Oh, that's so cool.
The hurricane was in 2017 and we moved up here in 2019. now that the pressure is off.
And how were you always into the metaphysical? Did you have a shop there in Rockport?
I had a holistic wellness practice in Rockport. I saw clients one-on-one and, sold a few books and, a little this and that, but not
to this extent. This is a big building.
We had a meditation group that met once a week, and trying to think what else. Well, we watched Spiritual Cinema Circle one night a month, and boy, I thought I had this all mapped out in my head, but
that's okay.
It definitely expanded once we got up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you find the building?
Online.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you've been here how long?
The store opened 2 years ago, October.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind, because a lot of us metaphysical people have similar experiences to you opening a town in a, would you say this is a conservative area?
I'd say it's very conservative.
Okay. Yeah. So just tell that story that you told me about how you had a few protesters.
I had some people that weren't sure what to make of me, but all in all,
Mystical
Goliad is a very sophisticated small town, and they have opened their arms to me once they got to know what's going on here.
So we've all experienced a little bit of that, and it's usually that way. We think it's going to be like big, and then it's just a few people, and then they kind of come around. Real. Yeah, they kind of figure out that we are of light, not of darkness.
Right. And they called a few of my friends in Rockport because some people knew some others there and said, what is this woman about? What is she doing? They said,
yeah. But so far you've done okay here.
Yes, I'd say very well received, and this virus thing has definitely slowed us down in a couple of ways. We canceled yoga classes, and even meditation group stopped for a little bit.
Right.
And then we came back and spread out, and you may see in the yoga room we have taped off spots on the floor for social distancing.
We can do a tour anytime you want. So yeah. So we'll have her share this to her area, because more than likely you're not going to come to the shop unless you're in Texas. So, we'd like to also reach out to local people and people in Texas. Yeah. So we'll be able to share it through there. Barry, I can bring you on if you'd like to bring on.
Go ahead if you can, because I'm not seeing your picture yet.
But you need to mute your... Was he down there?
Says I'm in the show, but I don't know why the picture's not.
I don't see you.
Your picture wasn't icon.
Yeah, your picture's not on there.
The thumbnail.
All right. Well, we're just going to keep going. So how did you become? Were you always
chronic pain and depression?
Okay. That you came to metaphysical.
I was raised in a non-denominational fundamental Christian church, and 3 times a week was religiously in service, and was, there's a big gory story, but that's not where I'm coming from.
Right. That's not your story anymore.
No, it's not.
You're a wise woman.
Everything I can think of to describe how I went from there to there.
We all know pain and suffering.
Yeah. And it's all good.
Yeah.
Something good has come out of, something can come out of a hurricane, and you find this wonderful place, and it gets better every day, and it's my happy place, and I love what I do, and I see sad people come in and happy people leave, and people come in and say, I need something for, and I say, gee, I don't have anything you need. I have some tools that can help you remember who you are, which is
very good,
divinely created.
Yes.
and divinely created for a purpose, and to help people connect with source that I still call God, and remember their divinity is the greatest job in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like that. You guys know we do readings, and I often try to teach the people that are sitting that they already have the answers. I'm just kind of the sounding board,
Mhm.
and that I'm writing a book about how not to need us, as you say.
Yes,
Everybody needs someone to talk to,
sure.
and we can do that. And I suppose you
And
do that a lot
someone
here
to
at the
listen.
shop. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, we have to learn to rely on that intuition, that goddess within voice that we don't always trust. And when we don't trust it, it usually turns out tragic. So yeah. Now how long you and Joe been, are you married?
We're married. Coming up in February, our 22nd anniversary of marriage.
And he seems very like-minded.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's come around.
Has he?
He, he wasn't against it. He just didn't understand it.
Right.
And now with so many resources, he picks up books, and the next thing I know, he's helping somebody and, telling a customer something. And I'm like, how did you know that?
Isn't that
He's like,
neat?
I read this book. And
To watch them blossom.
people ask a question and
See
he
if you can bring
hands
me
them a
in.
book.
I'm going to try Barry one more time. Michelle, hi. Just please bear with us today. I guess add to the stream. Oh, it's not working, huh? It says you're on the stream. I don't know what that means. Oh, wait a minute. It might just be you. Wouldn't that be great?
It might just be slow internet.
Yeah. I think we're going to go back. Sorry, Barry. And uh-oh.
We can see Barry. You just
Yeah.
can't see Barry.
And now we can't see us. That might have been something we shouldn't have done.
Well, we have Barry.
Yeah. I hope you can still hear us. I'm going to say remove from stream. There we go. There we are. We're back.
Hello.
I guess we're just not going to have Barry's face on here today, and you don't have mine, so it's okay. I was kind of against the whole, I used to be in my pajamas during the, no makeup during the blog talk. So this is fine for me, but we want to see beautiful Diana's face. And so Joe and you, he still works in Corpus Christi, huh?
Yes.
So is that challenging? I don't know how far that is.
It's about an hour and 10 minutes, but
Wow.
he's the king of the audiobook. So.
Oh, okay. So he does fine.
And he works from home some.
That's good. So you still have a house there or no?
No, we lived in Rockport, which was 30 minutes from Corpus, and now we're.
Oh, he works from here. I see. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So, what are some of the things that you offer here?
Well, besides the wonderful store, we have a meditation group every Thursday at 1:00, facilitated by a lovely woman, Darlene Hamilton. We usually have a short reading and short discussion, and then Darlene leads a guided meditation and then sets us on our own, to be in our own meditation for a short time. Let's start on Sunday. Sundays at 3 p.m. is a yoga class. Wednesday at 10 a.m., Wednesday at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. yoga. Thursday, 10 a.m. yoga. For the new moon, there's a singing bowl meditation.
Nice.
that you can either stretch out on a yoga mat in the yoga room, or you can sit in a chair if that's your thing, just to be comfortable. And Darlene Hamilton also facilitates that, where she plays the singing bowls and sets an intention for the new moon. This Thursday at 6:30 will be the new moon in Capricorn.
Nice.
The meditation is on Thursday.
Nice.
We did have a drum circle for every full moon, and I want to say COVID, it just kind of fell apart.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably.
I believe
I want to make
be
sure
back.
everybody's hearing that. Diane, many blessings, Michelle says to you. So she must hear you. I just want to make sure you're able to be heard. So that sounds beautiful, and I wish. One of the problems we're having with ours is we're gone a lot. We're gone 6 months. So some of our gatherings have fallen apart a little bit. So I get it.
You have to be consistent.
Yes, yes. So I saw a massage room.
We do. We have a massage therapist. We have a chiropractic acupuncturist. Dr. Karen Clark is a chiropractor who also does acupuncture. She's here 2 days a week. And Melanie Grabowski is our massage therapist, and she works by appointment.
Okay, good. And do you offer Reiki?
We do. Every second Saturday of the month is Market Day in Goliad. The whole square is filled with vendors.
Oh, nice.
This coming Saturday, January the 8th, the square will be filled with vendors. And for market days, I always have a group of practitioners in. This Saturday, Rini Resendez is a Reiki master, and he also does vibrational sound healing.
Oh, yes.
So he'll be taking appointments. Mary Louise is a shamanic healer that will be seeing clients this Saturday. Rhiannon Stevens is an artist, an intuitive artist.
Mm-hmm.
She paints soul portraits.
Oh, yes.
She sits with you and her guides tell her what to paint. She paints a beautiful watercolor painting that you get to take home with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then she does a reading with it and explains what she painted and why she painted it. And I don't care how many times I've had one done or see her do one for someone else, my jaw drops. It's just phenomenal. Okay, there's somebody else. Oh, Rebecca Hall is a part Cherokee woman, and she reads medicine cards.
Yes.
But she does what she calls a Native American healing session. And they're lovely.
Yeah, Barry does that too. He does a Native American healing. And we're going to get more and more of that. We do big shows. So I think I'm going to have to get a double booth for him to start doing the healings. Because there's, it's usually 8 by 10. No, what is it, Barry? 10 by, well, it's not a very big booth. Yeah. But with all we do, that would be hard. Yeah. So what else? Is there anything that I missed talking about, at least the shop, that you wanted to talk about?
I don't want to talk just to talk, but dead air isn't a good thing either.
Well, that's okay. I was going to ask you, because this is an old building, and I have paranormal peeps that watch this too. Do you have any activity?
There is a presence here. It's a lovely presence, and it's predominantly upstairs.
Do you get a feeling if it's female or male or?
I get a feeling, but I prefer not to say.
That's okay.
And it's in our past home, there was a presence that was mischievous, and this is not that.
Okay, didn't come with you.
No, and the other one was cleared.
Oh, okay.
In the home that we sold.
Okay.
But
often you get those
the talk of the town when it was happening.
Because, oh my goodness.
Yeah. That house had been built in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Okay.
And had some traumas itself as a house. And then, of course, that many people over that many years.
Right.
They pick up energy sometimes. And
exactly.
It had.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're in this historic square where the hanging tree is, which is sad. I guess they would, from the history that I read, and she pointed out to me that I might be at the wrong tree, which we'll go redo the video for our friend who will use that footage someday. I guess from what I read, and you never know if that's true, that they used to actually hold court under the tree and then swiftly.
Well, according to the historical marker, justice was carried out.
Yeah, swiftly. No appeals here. No appeals. And then something to do with one of the battles or war that they
cart war.
Okay.
The thing with the Mexico and Texans and the trade trails.
Okay. Did that have to do with the Fannin battlefield?
No,
it's
nothing
something
at
else.
all. That's
Okay.
the Texas Mexican independence.
Okay. So I guess some prisoners or somebody might have been hung there as well. Yeah,
Joe's my history buff.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, there was death, and sad death, whether they were guilty horse thieves or whatever. It seemed like it was swiftly and maybe a little too swift.
So much love and light has been
shown here. Yeah, I didn't feel the
poured onto that tree.
Yeah.
One of the local churches has a service under that tree every Thursday evening.
Really?
Yeah.
How cool is that? And so, yeah, I've always been amazed when I'm in Texas, because I'm telling you, every mile has a historical, I say hysterical, historical marker. I mean, if you stopped, I said you could do a book, or
there is a book.
Is there a book of every one?
Why Stop? And it tells you what every marker is about.
It would take you, because every couple miles there's a marker.
And some miles have several markers.
And a lot of it seems to be battle and war and that good stuff. But I'm sure there's other ones that aren't. I think down by there was some interesting ones down by Magnolia Beach about how they brought and I'm not going to say it right. What's the name of the animal we didn't know exists, Barry? Nigel's, but it's not Nigel. Nagalis. Have you heard of them? They brought them over here to Magnolia Beach.
The nutria?
Nigelis, I think. They're big animals, but they look like an antelope head.
Oh.
So they're very...
Nilgai.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Nilgai.
Nilgai.
They're wonderful.
We didn't even know they existed.
And they're delicious.
That's what everybody told us there.
If
and
you're
we didn't...
carnivore, they're delicious. It's very lean.
But I hear a lot of people have
and...
little accidents with them.
Yeah.
Just like deer, I guess. Yeah.
But
we didn't know they existed till we came to Texas. And yeah. So they were brought from India, I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then they were at the King Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they... Now, are they all over Texas or just in that area?
They're an exotic, so
just that
people
area
bring them in and have them.
Okay. So you don't see them wild in this area?
If there's one loose, it's because it's escaped from someone's game ranch. Exotic.
Because down there in Magnolia, was it Magnolia or South Padre? Maybe. I might be wrong.
The one we went
might be South Padre.
No, it was the one we went to before.
Anyway, going towards the south.
Between Magnolia and South Padre.
Okay.
Remember the place we stopped?
Oh, yeah. That's right. It was between those two places. And then we didn't know that. We thought it was a joke that they were serving fish ribs. And I was thinking, how big can fish ribs be? That has to be a joke. No, it's... And do you remember the name of that fish? It was one of these huge fish. And they were delicious. The ribs were. It was a color.
Red something. I can't
remember. Redfish?
Red and black something.
Black drum?
Drum. Black drum.
And their ribs?
They serve the
Well,
ribs.
redfish is delicious. And
Yeah.
a black drum is,
Yeah,
I think,
similar. Very
redfish
similar.
is a drum.
And I think so.
But ribs, I don't know.
Yes, and they were delicious. I mean, you
Right.
didn't eat the ribs, but you ate the
There
tender meat
are-
off of it.
But they were big.
Real limits on how big of a redfish
You can get.
you can get, and then you don't want to eat them because they're,
Oh, okay. Well, this
I
is
don't
the
know.
black drum, and I don't know. They
again,
were really good.
Joe is my authority on that, so I don't waste.
Joe we're gonna have to interview Joe sometime.
Yeah, I don't waste RAM on things.
Joe had a little accident.
Yeah,
today.
Joe was trimming a tree, not today, it was the day before yesterday. He was trimming a tree very carefully with a pole saw, and he has gone to great lengths to get all the safety gear. And when he was up on the roof, he was harnessed and tethered, and then he gets on the ground with his pole saw and he's sawing away, and the branch fell and hit him right in the face, on the nose.
So be careful out there,
Be
guys.
careful. It could have been a lot worse.
My husband also has an injury from trimming a tree, and he was a pole climber all of his life for the telephone company. But he didn't have his gear on and decided that he had to trim a tree on our yard. And I wasn't there, or I would have stopped him. And he fell and broke his back. So he's got all kinds of pins and metal and all kinds of things in his back.
All right, everybody
I
out
know.
there in listening land.
Yeah, watch those widowmakers, because that's why they're named that. So, yeah. Okay, so is there any other history we should know about Goliad?
Tons of history in Goliad, just tons. There's a wonderful museum just right around this corner. The Mission Espiritu Santo is
Where we're staying at the
at
state
State
park?
Park.
Yeah.
Yes, is diagonally across the street from the fort. From
Okay.
La Bahia.
Yeah.
And the forts were built near the missions to protect the missions. So there's just a ton in both of those facilities. The mission and the fort both have great interactive,
okay.
museums of sorts.
Okay.
Just so much. Plus, you can stay at the fort at La Bahia.
No kidding.
There's a residence there that you get the whole fort for the night. Many paranormal.
I was going to say our paranormal team is in.
They regularly visit the place.
Okay.
It's known to have all sorts of activity. There was, quite
Right.
a brutal battle.
Now, just out of curiosity, and I don't know if you know this, but when we were doing our Echovox, we got a lot of, we got female voice that kept coming through the same one. Do you have any history of a female in this area that might want to communicate?
It has surprised me when you said that. I suppose it could be a relative of someone.
Or a victim of one of the people that were hung there, I guess. I don't know.
As far as I know, in my mind, it's men that were hung.
That's exactly what the history
knows?
said. So, but she may have been
Murdered by
somebody on the
somebody,
street,
something
or she might have lived here on the
Yeah.
street, or it wouldn't have to necessarily have to do with the tree,
right.
if she saw an opportunity
Absolutely.
to talk. So
And
I just
someone
wondered
that
if there
could
was
hear
any
her.
stories about women in this area. So, yeah. But this is such a quaint, I mean, you talk about a Western town.
Yeah.
Santa
Santa rides into Goliad on a longhorn steer.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Yeah.
The first weekend in December every
Yeah.
year, Santa rides in on a longhorn
That
steer.
is so cool. It's a ranching community, correct?
It is the birthplace of South Texas ranching.
Oh, nice.
Of Texas ranching, I believe.
Yeah.
And there are many ranches, to me, which is a good thing because there are hundreds and thousands of acres that are not being developed. So
Okay.
it's a little buffer for me.
Well, talking about Texas, I need some advice from a Texan that's lived here all life. How do you stay away from the sticky things? And what do you do when a dog gets it in its paw and you try to get it out and you get it in your thumb? And what was the other thing? Ants.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Everything in Texas stings or bites.
That's what I said.
And if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
So how do you guys like even do your yard work? Is it you just
Yeah.
just go for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
you don't go barefoot, I take it.
Oh, no.
No.
No. I mean, there are places that you can. There are even several locals that walk every day around town barefoot for grounding purposes.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe's picked up the habit now.
Okay.
But, they know.
They stay
where-
on the sidewalk.
No, not
No?
necessarily, but they know where they can go.
Okay. Okay. Because
And
I'm not very
courthouse
good at
lawn
it.
is pretty safe.
Okay.
A few grass burrs have crept in.
Over time.
Yeah, in the spring, it's not unusual to see Diana Harrington out on her hands and knees on the courthouse square pulling, because if I see a sticker that I can get
All right.
and there's mostly grass around it,
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it happen.
Yeah, they seem to be everywhere, but
They're everywhere.
that's true all through the West. I mean, we traveled last year all through the West, and there was something that wanted to stick me the whole time we
It's
were
a
out.
sticky place.
I feel that's what made me think about the ranching. I can see why animals have hooves now, but there is a cactus called the something crippler. Forget, horse crippler.
The
So-
hooves are just like a toenail.
Yeah.
There's a soft spot in there.
Yeah, so they probably have to pick those out too, but yeah. And then we saw you have animals we don't have. Javelina.
Which is more closely related to a horse than a pig.
Really?
It looks like a hog. I
Yeah.
love their little
I know, I do too.
snouts.
But you also do you have issues with the wild boar?
Yeah,
Yeah, are they a lot around here?
they are. We have some property outside of town, and they're just thick.
Hmm.
And
I
I've
guess
heard
they're real destructive.
they are very destructive.
And weren't common to the area. They were brought here.
No, they're not. They're a morph, a hybrid of wild pigs.
Yeah, like
and
I think they brought them in
domestic
for hunting
boars.
camps or something, and that's how it went all
I don't
bad.
know, but I hear if you don't get 75% of them every year, you're not keeping up.
Oh my goodness.
Because they can have 2 or 3 litters.
Yeah.
And 10 pigs or more in a litter. The other good news is they're delicious.
Are they? I was going to ask you.
If you get them when they're small enough.
Okay.
Not a little bitty one, but not a big one.
Right.
All right.
The big ones
all
are pretty nasty.
So we hit on that, but I want to tell you about the beauty of now I want to tell you about the beauty of Texas, because we've been all over it, from hill country to Big Bend, which is one of our favorites,
Isn't it amazing?
and this area, Magnolia Beach, and we like Magnolia Beach because it's free, to camp. So love it. But and also being new RVers, for you that are watching because we're RVers, it's crushed shell, so you don't have to worry about your rig sinking in, and it's a bay, so you can park right at the water's edge and not worry about the tide. So that's where we're going next.
Mustang has some of that, where you can park on the beach.
On the beach,
camp
yeah.
on the beach.
No, we aren't good
But there's
enough
a
to know
big-
about the sand stuff yet.
It's
We're still
sand.
working about
And it
that.
gets
But
in-
Mustang is a wonderful. And you guys remember that we were in Port, what is it? Why can I never think of it?
Francis.
No, we did go to Port Aransas because he
Mansfield.
likes it. No, the one that were the cold, Barry, where were we? South Padre. South Padre last year when it was 20 degrees. So fingers crossed that we don't get the 20-degree again.
Yeah, well,
But I don't know that we'll go to South Padre this year. Probably right to Big Bend. But let's see what else about. Oh, the Panhandle. Very windy when we were there, but it was beautiful. We loved Caddo, which is the swampy,
mhm.
awesome area.
There's everything in Texas.
There is. You can go almost anywhere in the,
And you can go 8 hours to the west and
Mm.
you're still in Texas.
I know.
You go 5 hours to the east and
You're
you're
still in Texas. Yeah.
You go 4 hours to the north and you're still in Texas.
And you're a border another country, which is really cool,
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, Mexico is wonderful.
Yeah, so we're going to go down, and we were just amazed with the walking and being able to touch Mexico on one side and USA on the other side, and walk through the waters. And what's it called? A channel? No. the canyon there at Big Bend. We'll do that again. Now, we were there during COVID beginning, and we didn't get to hit the hot spring because it was closed. So we're hoping it's open this time, but we do love hot springs. Yeah. So I want to hear more about your story that you feel like you can share. You said you grew up non-denominational but fundamentalist kind of mindset 3 times a week. That's a lot.
That was a slow week.
Oh,
We also had all kinds of meetings and singings and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And
so before you got into this, do you mind saying what your career or what your
I worked in the Port of Corpus Christi. My family had a business. My dad had a business, and we had marine services where we took care of ships and barges.
Oh, wow.
And the Port of Corpus Christi is, I think, maybe the 3rd largest port. I've been out of the business now about 25 years, but it's a really big port.
Wow.
And I like to say one day my ship came in and I married the captain.
Oh,
My husband is a ship captain.
Oh, okay. And what's he doing now?
He runs a team of pollution and safety advisors.
Wow, that's impressive. You know, we
he's
went to
the
Standing
manager.
Rock, so we're all about in the environment, except for we drive a diesel. But we leave a little footprint.
Even zero emission vehicles are not.
Right.
Yeah.
They have a footprint.
Yeah, and so do even
big one.
windmills and
Yes,
all
they
that
do.
everybody thinks that are so great.
But
We're working it out though.
watch the pollution and, you know,
Yeah.
be conscious of your footprint.
Love Mother Earth, yes.
Yeah. So
And
Joe does work for an oil and gas company, but I'm pleased to say that they have an extensive program to be as clean as they can possibly
that is
be.
good news.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear, and I'm glad somebody like Joe is in
Yeah.
charge.
Oh, he's Mr. Nature.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 years you've been here,
Yes.
and you live upstairs.
Yes.
And is that wonderful, or is that hard because you're too available?
It's more wonderful than,
Okay.
I mean, occasionally it's kind of like I just won't answer the door or the phone, but no,
Yeah. And you have
no one takes advantage.
2 dogs.
2 dogs, 2 cats.
Yeah. And
The dogs commute.
I was gonna say they did fine with the move, and
Well, one of the dogs has been with us the whole time, but the other one we've adopted since we moved here and lost one of the others. I love my girls. I'm really surprised you haven't heard them go off because they're famous. They're on the website. Their little pictures are on there along with me.
Oh, nice.
And Kylie and Cora.
Well, tell them about your website and your Facebook page, because the people that aren't here will be able to connect.
The website is soulemporiumgoliad.com, and the Facebook is Soul Emporium Goliad. And well, I've been remiss since COVID and all the events being canceled. I stopped keeping the calendar, and I have not picked that back up.
Well, we're still in it.
Yeah, so, I do a pretty good job of posting all the events on Facebook.
Okay.
And did so this morning.
I'm trying to figure out how we walk around to do a tour. I don't know if I can turn. Oh, okay.
It dawned on me that I brought Christmas in.
Oh, okay.
But I just dumped it in the classroom. And
okay, so that might work out better anyway, because I'm not sure how to turn the camera or anything. But could you tell us what kind of merchandise, and do you ship?
Yes.
Okay.
If you get on the website, you'll see that the store is extensive. There are some pictures, and from time to time I post merchandise. So that's how they'll call and say, I'm looking for a gift, and tell me a little bit about the person, and I can send pictures. I started at one time to make an online store, and it was just so many
involved.
Little items. And with crystals, you sell one, and you got to put, and
right.
there are websites that do that, but I'm a one-woman show.
Yeah. So she has everything from tarot cards or oracle cards to books to
sage. And
Yeah, you
candles
might
and incense and altar items and
any cleansing. We get a lot of people that need cleansing items.
jewelry, mostly metaphysically themed. It's, I don't just have
Right.
any old jewelry.
Yeah, but you can go to our website and see these things. I got I shouldn't tell because my granddaughter might be listening. Anyway, I got some oracle cards that I am in love with. You also have things like wind chimes and those beautiful cardinals that are glass and little tiny cardinals and little tiny frogs and things like that for luck and
spirit animals, power animals, singing bowls and drums and rattles and all kinds of things that people would use for the drum circles and just to ground
essential oils
and bells, because in a quantum universe everything is vibration and there's nothing like a bell to
bring that in. That's what I feel with the singing bowls and the tuning forks and just even the gongs, but we also do a drumming circle, but it's more native.
Got a gong right there.
Oh, there you go.
In the yoga room.
It is a beautiful place. I wish you guys could see.
Lots of pictures on the thing.
Yeah, so you can just go on there.
Website.
Right. And why don't you give your address?
126 North Courthouse Square in Goliad, directly across from the front door of the Goliad County Courthouse.
Which the square is beautiful.
Lots of great shopping. And
do you need to get that? She's at her business, so we have to.
I'll call her back.
Okay. So
Joni is a bars access practitioner.
Oh, nice.
And I'll call her back.
Yeah.
She works here sometimes.
She works here with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess I want to keep it open that if there's anything about your spiritual journey that you would like to share, we would love to hear it. But I'm putting you on the spot because you didn't know I was going to ask that. Or even a message to, matter of fact, this show is under Voice of the Elders. So I feel like you have things you could share.
The most horrible things that have ever happened to me have turned out to be the greatest gifts for growth. You couldn't have made me believe or see at one time that some of these things could possibly, and I mean, the hurricane is the least of them.
Right.
I didn't have damage, and many of my friends and neighbors had horrible damage, but just that it shook things up and caused Joe and I to make this bold decision. We just had imagined, having lived in Rockport since 1965, that I would probably retire and die there, happily, on purpose. And the hurricane just, pushed us out the door to make us look around and see this great little town that reminds us of the Rockport that we grew up in. And Joe says the day they break ground for a Walmart in Goliad is the day we move to, who knows where that would be, but.
Right. I
never
feel
say never.
Yeah, you never say never. I couldn't find internet today, so that was a good thing. That means it's small still and family oriented.
I have 2 Wi-Fi carriers because one day one works and the other day another one works.
So yeah, we did find the laundry. That was good. Yeah, it was nice.
Good little laundromat here.
And it looks like it has several nice restaurants and a coffee shop and deli, I think.
Good deli. Famous creme jalapeno soup.
No kidding.
People come from far and wide for the Blue Quail Deli.
You just you just got his attention.
Oh, they close it too.
Oh,
Not today.
No, not today. That's okay. Another
You
day.
could still make it because it's just right there.
He's
We have
okay.
an ice cream shop 2 doors down, and a flower shop, and a new toy store in town. And
Wow.
why would I go anywhere? Flowers
I
and
have-
toys
And they play music out on the square. It was kind of interesting. It must be a radio station or something.
It's
or
streamed.
something. Yeah, it's streamed. And when I was doing the Echo Box, Ghostbusters came on, so I thought that was hilarious. And then also the one about just killed a man, put a gun against,
Queen.
you know, so that made me remind me of what they might have been being hung for, you know. So it was kind of funny. I had to do it. But I totally agree with you. Right now we're going through something, and it's hard to see that. Oh, look there. What's the name?
This is Kylie.
Kylie.
Oh, she got busted for fleas.
Oh yeah. It's hard to see the beauty in it at the time it's happening, but later you can reflect on. And you guys have been on the journeys with us. I mean, just like your hurricane, this wasn't the biggest thing in our life, but recently we had our other RV burn while we were going down the road. So they were all there for that. So they know that life has interesting turns and twists, and will take you on adventures you weren't planning on going. Hi, sweetie. There's another one over here behind me. Cora. So, okay. So, any other things you would like to express to the world or to the younger generation?
Love is the answer.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
is the answer. If it's not love, it's fear.
Exactly. Do you do a Course on Miracles by any chance?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Give me 5. Give me 4.
Again.
Yeah, you who have not experienced the Course on Miracles, it is
There's no degree
amazing.
of miracles.
And I got to sit at Mary Williamson's feet to learn it because she was in Warren, Michigan, and I would go down on the weekends to be with her. So the Course of Miracles
Mornings
means-
with Marianne this morning.
Isn't she great?
Isn't she? She's a wonderful teacher.
Yes.
And Pam Grout has a kick-ass book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's the name?
Something about A Course in Miracles.
Okay, that's okay. Well, we can find it. And Marianne's A Woman's Worth and
Yes,
Return to Love.
So good. So good.
Those are my 2 favorites. Return to Love saved my life when I was after a relationship. And I'm going to redo that, not because there's anything wrong, just because I need to hear it again,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And like your husband, we're traveling a lot, so books on CDs are so wonderful, you know? Is that what they say now, CDs? They probably
Audio.
stream them now.
Yeah, now
They probably stream them.
what do they call it?
Audio books or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can, but
Yeah, like Kindle, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MP.
Yeah. So if you'd like to give your information one more time, maybe we can at least take it to the hour. We started a little late, but again, about your website.
Soul Emporium Goliad.com.
Facebook is
Soul Emporium Goliad. And it turns out that there is another Soul Emporium in New Hampshire somewhere
I did see that.
that I sometimes get feedback for them that isn't for me, and perhaps they get some of mine.
That's funny. Yeah, sister store, I guess, huh? So, and your address here is
126 North Courthouse Square. If you're going to mail me something, it's Post Office Box 1360, and the zip is 77963 for both the physical and mailing.
And she has all the information you need on the website that she already gave you that information for. She has an upcoming new moon.
This
Event.
Thursday night, Thursday, is it the 6th? January 6th at 6:30. It's a $10 suggested love offering, which is a bargain for this
Yes.
lovely, lovely experience.
Yeah.
Darlene says don't ever let the money keep you away, but she does a great job, and you would
Wonderful.
love it.
So that reminded me of a question before we end, that Texas is famous for, and that's the dark skies. You get to experience that very often?
You know, our place outside of town here is about 20 minutes. You can see the Milky Way.
Really?
You can see the cloud of stars. It's just beautiful.
Beautiful.
We've gotten a few businesses here in town now that have the really big night lights, and
No,
they
they don't make you the happiest.
Right. I appreciate that those businesses are here.
Right.
Sorry that they have to come so well lit.
Oh yeah. Oh, sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were out at Big Bend, and we were so excited about the dark sky. We were there during full moon,
Well,
which
go
was
to
beautiful
McDonald
too.
Observatory while you're out. in
Oh,
that neck
we
of the
tried. It
woods.
was closed, but we'll try again.
It's fabulous.
For COVID, they wouldn't let us in. They did let us walk around the grounds. But
It just, you can't even fathom what those telescopes will let you see.
really, because we even camped near it so
I
that we
thought it
could
was
go.
a joke the first time I went, that I thought they just stuck a photograph of Saturn in like a slide, and we were all supposed to go, but it was really
It was
Saturn.
Saturn. That blows the mind, doesn't it?
Just crazy.
Does it?
Beautiful.
Is there a lot of UFO sightings in this area, or do you know?
UFOs I've not heard.
Okay.
The Bigfoot thing is a thing.
It's huge
in this neck of the woods.
Yeah, I noticed Arkansas was Bigfoot everywhere.
Yeah.
So must be in Texas too. Now, do they call it Bigfoot here? Because
Yeah, it is Bigfoot here. I recently heard, and I don't know if this is fact, but that the human eye sees 1% of the light spectrum, or a very low portion of the light spectrum. What do we think is floating around in that other 99?
Fairies and Bigfoot.
I think all that stuff
Yeah.
is interdimensional.
I do too. We have a lot of discussions about that. Like Barry can see fairies right on, but I have to see them out of the corner of my eye. But
Yeah.
they seem to be interdimensional because they can be there 1 minute and gone, just like Bigfoot. And who knows how whatever, I can't even say it. UFO people, how they come and go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe.
And I gotta tell you, a lot of times when we're doing these echo boxes or EVP, our own voice comes back to us. And I know that makes sense with the echo box, but no, this is at different times when our voice shouldn't be coming, or one of our members' voices we'll hear when they're not with us. And we always talk about, well, what if that's future Beth, future Diana, and we're haunting ourselves?
And we know about 3, possibly 4 dimensions. I understand there are so many more. And I read something, just yesterday about, I can't talk intelligently about it, but there's just so much that scientists are afraid to say what they know because it would make them seem
limited. I don't know.
It would make them seem like they didn't know what they were talking about, but there's so much more they don't know than that they do know.
Right.
That, all of us.
And what is that? What the bleep do I know?
Yeah.
And the rabbit hole one.
Yeah.
Is that
Down the rabbit.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole. So if you are interested, those are good things to get your brain working about these things. But yeah, nobody questions that dogs can hear sounds we can't hear, but they question that we can't see.
Our cats will sit and go side by side, looking at something that we don't, and we're
trying to see it.
And young children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, our cat actually bet, and we go, okay, is there a cobweb? No, there's whatever she's seeing is something we're probably not able to see. So yeah, I don't know how Barry got the vision for fairies, but he can see them dead on. So yeah, so keep that open mind. And if you're watching this show, you're probably already open-minded.
Yeah,
so it's been just such a pleasure to get to know you and see the town. And I got to tell you, it helps us because we were feeling a bit lonely since we've left home, because
not a week passes that a half a dozen people don't walk in the store and say, "This is in Goliad."
So it was so refreshing. And I'm not saying that Michigan is that open either, because, we live in a small town that's very much what I call fundamentalist. So I'm not saying it was because of that. It's just finding your tribe in different places as you travel.
I mean, they've come out of the woodwork here. There are, towns in every direction within a half hour. Houston is 2.5 hours.
Oh, there you go.
San Antonio is 2 hours. Austin is 3 hours. Corpus Christi is an hour. And, Refugio's half an hour. Victoria's half an hour. Cuero's half an hour. Beeville's half an hour. And then there are hundreds of small communities within an hour. And they just.
And what's Beeville about? Is it truly somewhere do you know how it got its name? I'm just curious about that.
I have known, but it's not coming to me
okay,
right now.
That's okay. I'll look it up.
There must be a Mr. B or something.
Okay, I didn't know. Maybe it was a place that they do you call it raising bees?
There's a word for that.
Yeah, there is. Because my niece does it, but I can't think what it's called. Beekeeper.
Yeah, but there's a word, and we've always wanted to do it, but I'm not this.
Barry's allergic, so I can't.
Oh.
Terribly allergic. Oh. I said, as a native, you would have died. Yeah. So, but we were to Austin before, and it seems like a progressive.
Oh yeah.
Area.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
college town, keep Austin weird.
Yeah. Went and saw the bats and all that good stuff. Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know too much about the other towns. Houston just seemed like a lot of traffic when I came through, but I'm sure there's a lot of loveliness there.
There's good stuff in Houston.
So were you accepted in Corpus or
Rockport? Well, having grown up there, yes.
Yeah. But there was a good community of Metaphysical.
A good community.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, do they ever are able to come to your classes here?
Sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Because it's only an hour and something you said. Yeah.
And I've mentioned Darlene Hamilton a number of times. Darlene is my best friend and lives in Rockport, and she does her groups in Rockport.
Okay.
And a number of them come up and do, either they offer workshops here. The lovely Libby Krause has some earth-based teaching that she's about to share in a workshop.
Nice.
She doesn't call herself a shaman, but she has shamanistic ways. Yes. She'll be doing a workshop, and then our friend that has just moved from Rockport up to New York State is coming back in February to do an art workshop. Her name is Alala.
Oh, nice.
And she's finding your heartist. Your heartist, artist.
Yeah. Oh, how cute.
And she does a left brain, right brain thing that is just so expansive.
Almost sounds like The Artist's Way. That book, The Artist's Way. Yeah,
we did that a number of times as a book study.
Yeah.
One of our groups.
So have you ever thought about doing a Course in Miracles group?
I have.
Yeah. We've done them before, and we really enjoyed it.
We had a Quaker group in Rockport that met every Sunday morning. And I don't know if you know about Quakerism, but you sit in silence. Oh, nice. And that's the service.
Yes.
And I've considered starting that here. When I'm questioned from time to time what my religion is, I find myself a Quaker.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. But we do when we are home, we do at the Mystical Awakenings store. We do a interdominational. All paths are welcome. It's called Sacred Paths.
I'm a multi-faith, non-denominational minister
Yeah.
and do weddings and services.
Yes. So
That's
you
on
know
the
where to
website.
go. Yeah. So yeah, but those are always feeds our heart.
Mm-hmm.
And we miss that when we're gone. So, but we told them to go ahead without us, and we will Zoom in to do that. So there's always a way, even with COVID, that you can do these things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Any last words or thoughts? Love. Don't choose fear. It's an illusion. All right. Well, thank
Choose
you.
love.
Yeah, choose love. Thank you again, and we feel honored that we were able to do this from the Soul Emporium in Goliad, Texas.
Okay.
And we hope to see you again soon. So
Love you.
thank you for watching, and I'm sorry I couldn't do the comments. First of all, my eyesight's bad, and second of all, I was doing an interview. Thanks again, but I might go in there afterwards and comment on your comments. Thanks again. Bye-bye.